everyone, my name is Jennifer Stay. This is Coloring Bliss, and today we're going to celebrate the big three. We're going to answer the question, what are the big three? And I'm going to tell you about a big three giveaway. 3 big winners of the big three. So exciting. So the way we're going to do this today is by looking through some of the Coloring Essentials book that I recently released, and it talks a lot about the big three in here. We're going to do some hands-on exercises, getting ourselves used to the big three, and at the end of the video I'll tell you more about the giveaway. What you need to know right now about the giveaway is there's a link in the video description that will take you to our website where you can enter to win 3 really big, awesome prizes. We're picking big winners for the big three, and I'll tell you more about that at the end of the video. But first, let's talk about the new book. This is my new book, and I'm so proud of it, especially if you are a beginning colorist, because this has so much information and hands-on exercises and coloring pages to get you started right. I don't want you to waste your time and your energy. I want you to have success right away, and that's what this book right here is all about. And the way we've sort of formatted this book is around something that I'm calling the big three. And what the big three are, here comes the answer to the question, what are the big three? Well, the big three are the 3 art media that I think that every beginning colorist, well, any colorist in general, need to learn how to use. And these 3 are so powerful on their own, each on their own. We have 1, color pencils, that's the first of the big 3, 2, alcohol markers, and 3, gel pens. Now, these 3 art media are so powerful alone, but also when you combine them together, they can do such amazing things. So what we're going to do today is the hands-on exercises. The lesson book itself is broken into 4 lessons, and today we're going to spend our time here in lesson 2. So let me flip over to this page right here. So what I did in this book is in lesson 2, I gave you 4 tips for each of the big 3, and then I give you some hands-on exercises to actually get going, get coloring, and get used to the big 3. So the very first one that we're going to do together today is the hands-on exercise for color pencils, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different things that we need to practice. And the cool thing about this is when you turn the page, ta-da! We have given you a space to practice, and it's been printed on the appropriate paper. So this one is, it says, practice here on our favorite color pencil paper. So you get to have the feel of a really good paper. Let me get out my color pencils and let's do some of this. I'm going to be using my Prismacolor pencils today because at the end of this video I will explain how I'm giving away a full set of Prismacolors. So I thought it was appropriate that we use the Prismacolors today. And I'm going to go in for some purples. Let's grab several purpley type pencils. We got blue violets and red violets, some good purple colors. All right, let's see what the first exercise is. Try holding the pencils different ways as you color. Okay, let's use this one that's somewhat sharp and start with that. Okay, so I'm going to try holding it the standard way first and just do a little bit of coloring. Feels normal. I can go heavy pressure. I can go really light pressure. Let's see, another way I hold the pencil from time to time is like this. And I can get light pressure, heavy pressure, and I can hold it way on its edge and cover lots of areas. Okay, we could hold it at the end of the pencil, which is how I recommend if you have a trouble with, I call it death gripping your pencil. You're holding it super, super tight and your knuckles are turning red and your fingertips are turning red and white and you're getting cramps in your hands, then you need to relax your grip. And so I recommend you hold the pencil way back at the end like this because it naturally makes you slow down and get lighter pressure with your pencil. Okay, what if we try in If we hold it, what's a really crazy way? Like a kid, let's hold it in a grip like this and see if I can color. Oh, that's really awkward. But I can still get light pressure. I can get medium pressure. Oh, death grip this way. But that's really awkward. What if I slide my hand back farther? Yeah, that's not as much fun as just holding it the standard way. Okay, so that was a lot of fun to try different hand holds, and still my two favorite is basically the standard hold of a pencil and then holding it like this. Those are the two ways I like to hold my pencils. Okay, let's see what the next thing is. Try coloring with light, medium, and heavy pressures. We already did that. Woohoo! Okay, I'm going to check off those two. Try coloring in small circles. Okay, I typically color in lines. And I try to keep all my lines in nice, neat directions. But I know a lot of artists that work with color pencils. They like to do little circles like this. And I can see the benefit. If you look at here compared to there, that's very interesting. Maybe I need to try doing an entire coloring page with just coloring in circles. No lines allowed. That could be a really fun thing to try. Okay, now let's go ahead and see what the next thing is. Try coloring in straight lines. That's more what I like to do. I like the straight lines. Comment below, are you a circle colorer or are you a straight lines colorer? Trying to see the difference between that little section right there and my lines, and which one do I like better. Steve, you should come and see what you think. Of course, in little circles you can do heavy pressure too. Let's see what it looks like. Do you prefer the way it looks when I color in circles or in lines?
I think I lean towards lines.
Yeah. Okay, that's fun. All right, let's see what I have next. Try coloring with a dull pencil. Okay, I happen to have a very dull pencil right here. My Imperial Violet has been well used and it's very dull. So let's try coloring a circle with this dull pencil. I'm just doing light pressure. You can see how a lot of the white of the paper is showing up through my strokes. Be curious to see when I sharpen it. I think that's the next thing I have you do, is sharpen it and try coloring with sharpened. Yep, try coloring with a sharp pencil. So I'm going to go ahead and sharpen this. Okay, that's using my new X-Acto School Pro sharpener that I've been trying to see if Rose can tolerate. Okay, I'll draw a circle and again go through and color it in with a sharp pencil. I like the feel of the sharp pencil better. I feel like it's a little bit slower though than the other circle with the dull pencil, so that's interesting. And I'm rotating the pencil so the sharp point keeps coming in contact with the paper. Okay, definitely darker. We got more of the pencil down into the tooth and the texture of the paper, where over here we were sort of skimming the top of the tooth and the texture. So I'm going to write here that this was dull and this was sharp. And over here was circles. And here was straight. Very interesting. Okay. Now, next up, it says try coloring multiple layers of pencil colors. Okay, I have several different purples here. Let's try a really light purple. This one is Parma Violet. Okay, then I'll go on top of it with Dahlia Purple. I can feel when I reach the paper that has no color pencil, I can feel it. The texture is different. Okay, and then let's go over it with Violet. Okay, definitely they like to layer, especially on this paper. It feels really good. If I tried to do that same exercise over here on just standard copy paper, there's less tooth and texture here, so there's less room for the pencil to lay down. Ooh, it just feels like it's just skating on the top. I feel like I have to push harder to get that third layer on there. So here, this was 3 layers. This was really, at first I was like, oh, this is really nice because it's smooth, but by the 3rd layer, the 3rd color, it doesn't want to take it anymore, and it feels like the pencil's just skating and slipping along on the top of the wax. Where over here, after these 3 layers, I feel like we could keep going. We could keep adding more layers and do more blending techniques. Okay, very interesting. Next up, if you have more than one brand of color pencils, try coloring with each and feel the difference. Okay, I happen to have some polychromos back here. Let me grab one of those. It's a very sharp polychromo, so I'm going to sharpen up this Dahlia Purple to be fair. Okay, so let's start by feeling the Prismacolor. I'm very accustomed to that feel that I'm feeling right now. So that's Prismacolor. Listen to the sound it makes too. Okay, now let's try polychromos. First, listen to the sound. It is a different sound. It's almost higher pitched. And it just feels slicker, which is not a bad thing. I'm going to grab another brand, a really inexpensive brand, and we'll see how it feels. I grabbed the Crazy Art pencils for this one, and I'm going to grab, let's do green. This is some of my most hated pencils. Bright, vivid colors, thick, strong leads, real world, artist quality, it says on it. Still cracks me up that it says artist quality. In the lessons, I talk about the different quality of color pencils and what you can expect when you get up into something like the polychromos. Let me sharpen this up. Make it fair, and here we go. Let's listen to it. Very scratchy. I feel like I have to push a little harder on this one, and it's just scratchy. And the minute I stop pushing hard, it gets really light. Okay, so that was Crazy Art. I remember the first time I tried Prismacolor, and I was just blown away by how much better of an experience I could have with a better quality pencil. Okay, next up it says, swatch each of your color pencils to create a catalog of colors from which to choose. Include the name number of each pencil for easy reference. Now, I've already done that. I have swatched. Here's a place right here that we could swatch. And I've swatched all my brands of pencils into a different swatching book. We sell swatching books at Coloring Bliss on the color pencil paper so that you can swatch and catalog and keep track of all of your tools. But here we've given you a place to practice and practice swatching, and I'll show you a couple different ways that you can swatch. One of my favorites is to start at the far side and do heavy pressure over here, and then transition to middle type pressure, and then go to your very lightest touch that you can give it. So that's one way that I really like to swatch. And then what you do is you write the name underneath it. I'll grab just a standard black gel pen here, and I would write Dahlia Purple. Let's see if I can spell it right. Dahlia Purple, and the number on it is PC 1009. I'm just going to write 1009 PC. It's on the front of every Prismacolor pencil. Okay, another way to swatch is to fill it all in solid with heavy pressure. And I don't usually try to get it right up to the edge and fill in the space exactly. Okay, this one is Violet 932. Another fun way to try swatching would be to go heavy pressure, mid, lightest pressure, mid, try to make it smooth, and then back to heavy pressure. This would be a really good, if you're wanting to get some good practice while you're swatching, control of your pencil, that would be a fun way to swatch, because you get to see the full spectrum of what that pencil does, plus you're practicing how to control that pencil and get the right payoff as you go along. So that could be a lot of fun to try to swatch like that. PC 1008, and this is Parma Violet 1008. Okay, we'll do one more. Let's see, what's a crazy way to swatch? We did Parma Violet. Let's do Imperial Violet. What if we did it in a diagonal way? And lighter pressure, and then medium pressure, and then back to heavy. My brain didn't want to do it that way. Okay, but this would be a really good place to practice how you want to swatch, and then if you print off a bunch of free swatch pages at Coloring Bliss, then you're ready to swatch. You know how you want to do it. Oh, and number 1007. I'll just kind of sneak that in there. Okay, so that's swatching, and let me grab my swatch book and I'll show it to you. This is Swatch Bliss Volume 1, and I really like it because you get 60 swatches per page. That's 3,600 swatches in one book, and it's all printed on the beautiful color pencil paper. Here's some information on that paper. But let me show you what it looks like as you start swatching and getting your book full of all your different art supplies. Look how much fun! So pretty. So if I was coloring with, let's see. If I was coloring with the Black Widow pencils, here's the Monarch set by Black Widow, I could open this up and have it sitting right next to me while I'm coloring. And then if I need, say, a blue, I can come down here and look at all the different types of blue. There's some that's more gray and have green in it. This one has a little blue and green in it, but it's a much darker, more vivid, more saturated color. So that would help me choose the blue really quick. And I could grab it and maybe even pick two of them, one for the light color and one for the dark, and away I go. I'm coloring right away, no guesses. A lot of times the outer side of the pencil is not exact. It's close, they try to get it as close as possible, but it's not exact to what is on the inside of the pencil, so swatching takes away that mystery. Okay, next up, practice Jennifer's rule of blending thirds found in the back of the book. Okay, let's go to the back of the book. I think I marked it with a yellow flag. Okay, this is Jennifer's rule of blending thirds, and I've taught it many times here on Coloring Bliss on the YouTube channel, and if you come on over to become a member, I teach it there as well in our online lessons. So here it is written out again, how to do Jennifer's rule of blending thirds, and basically it says, as you learn this blending method, allow yourself to create imperfect blends. And that's so important because in the beginning, the blends are not going to be perfect. And then it says, see how each of the big three reacts to the rules of Jennifer's rule of blending thirds. The more you practice, the more you'll be in control of the desired effect. Pretty soon you will be confidently blending any art tool that is in your hand. Okay, so let's practice Jennifer's rule of blending thirds. These are all the steps here to take you through, and it gives you a place to try Jennifer's rule of blending thirds. But this is just on copy paper. So I'm going to flip over here and practice Jennifer's rule of blending thirds with this page here, which is printed on our mixed media paper. So it's a little thicker, has a little bit better texture than the color pencil. Let's pick 3 colors. Usually you want to pick a light, a medium, and a dark. That's the easiest way to get into Jennifer's rule of blending thirds, but I want to try mixing things up a little bit. Let's put pink on the bottom. Let's go for, let's do this purple. This is Parma Violet purple for the mid-tone. And then for the dark, let's try a really dark blue violet. So it's not really a light, medium, and dark that I picked. Let's see. I always promise everybody that Jennifer's rule of blending thirds can bring together any color pencil trio. It's a pretty bold claim, but I usually say to get you started off and have success to pick a light, medium, and dark. So we do have a light pink, a medium purple, and a dark blue. So I did follow that rule, but I'm not staying in the same family. They're not all purples, they're not all blues, they're not all reds, and I'm mixing it up a bit to see what we're going to get. So let's sharpen these up. Okay, I think we're ready. So let's do the center of this flower. The first step that I need to do, step 1, is color the whole flower with your lightest color. Light pressure, remember, light pressure. Next up, we're going to do our mid-tone. For me, it's going to be this medium type color of purple. And I think I want the outer edges of the petals to stay a light color, so I'm going to focus on the center. So the next step for Jennifer's rule of blending thirds is to blend about 2/3 of the way with your next color, with your mid-tone. So I'm going to write Parma Violet here so I can remember. If this is the best trio I've ever blended together, I want to be able to remember what 3 pencils I used. Okay, here we go. Step 3, I'm going to use my Indanthrone blue, or my dark color, to color about 1/3 of the way up in the center of the flower. Remember, light pressure. The next step of Jennifer's rule of blending thirds is to go back to your mid-tone. For me, that's Parma Violet, and I'm going to color over all the layers from the center to about 2/3 of the way out towards the tip of the petal. Light pressure. Next step, I'm going to be coloring the entire flower area with the very lightest color. For me, that's hot pink. This is one of my favorite steps because it sort of blends and creams everything together and you get a beautiful blend. The final step is to take my dark pencil and go back to the center of the flower and make sure that that area is nice and dark with that color. Now I want to make sure the contrast between the dark center and the light tips is really vivid and strong. Now don't forget to sharpen your pencils if you need to. Keep those points nice and pointy. All right, we did it. We brought 3 colors together with a beautiful blend using Jennifer's rule of blending thirds. And I gotta say, it's a really pretty combination. I'm very happy with it. Makes me want to color the rest of the flower, but we'll save that for later when we're working through the other parts of this book. So that takes us through the whole checklist of the color pencils that we were instructed to practice. And I think it was really useful. We've got lots of practice now, and if we want to, we can move on to the coloring pages that we have provided. So I can practice with my color pencils on these pages even more and get really used to our beautiful color pencils. Right, the next area that I would start working in is over here on alcohol markers, and we have a checklist right here of things to accomplish. And if you turn the paper right here, we have marker paper. Now it says color pencil paper here, but that was a typo, and it'll be fixed on your version of the books. I love alcohol marker paper. We use it for all types of markers because it is so slick and smooth. It makes it so easy for those nibs to slide across. So this is where I would practice that checklist. And then we have some coloring pages also on the alcohol marker paper so that I am ready to practice my skills that I learn. So next would then be the gel pen section. And again, we've got some nice checklist items to do to practice. And you move over here, and this is that gel pen paper I was telling you about. It's mixed media paper, so the texture is somewhere in between the color pencil paper and the marker paper. So it's a really good all-purpose paper. So this will say mixed media paper right here, or gel pen paper. And then it gives me additional coloring pages here again, so I can practice my gel pen skills right here on these coloring pages. Very cool. And so, along with the Jennifer's Rule of Blending Thirds and these hands-on activities and all of the coloring pages, there's so many opportunities to practice in this one book and to get used to how your tools work and become really confident with your coloring. All right, I hope that little peek into the book and watching me work through the exercises for color pencils gave you a little taste of what is in this book and what you can expect to learn and do and practice so that you can become really proficient at coloring. Now remember, if you want this book, there's lots of different ways to get it. You can purchase it digitally for just $24.99, as a full printed version for $49.99 with all those beautiful papers, or you can become a Coloring Academy member over at Coloring Bliss and get it as a free digital download. It's only $15 to become a Coloring Academy member, and in addition to this book, you get about another $70 worth of downloads. I can't remember exactly how much you get, but it's amazing what you can get as an Academy member. And also, if you become an Academy member, you can use your discount at the Coloring Bliss print shop to get 15% off of your purchase of the printed version of Coloring Essentials. So I hope that helps you understand how to get your hands on this book. I want everyone to have this book because I think it will set you up for success as a colorist. Whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, this book has a lot of fantastic knowledge. Now, I promised to talk to you about our giveaway. Now, to celebrate the big 3 inside our book, color pencils, gel pens, and markers, we are giving away 1 full set of each of those to 3 of you. Let me show you what we are giving away. I have a nice card right here. Whoa, look at that. The very first prize is a full set of Prismacolor Premier color pencils. And in addition to those pencils, I'm going to also include a full printed version of my new Coloring Essentials book. So all in all, that very first prize is worth $173.38. Now the second prize is a gel pen prize package. The first part of it is the Sakura Jelly Roll box set that has 74 beautiful Jelly Roll gel pens. And in addition to that, I'm throwing in a set of the Pentel Sparkle Pop pens. And on top of all of that, for the gel pen prize winner, you're also going to get a copy of Coloring Essentials book. So that prize package is worth $144.29. And finally, the alcohol marker prize package, and it consists of my new favorite markers, the Olo marker set. We're giving you a 32-piece brush half marker set, and to help you get started right with alcohol markers, I'm also going to include a printed copy of Coloring Essentials. I'm so excited. This prize package is worth $154.99. Now, to get your entries in, you need to follow the link in the video description. This giveaway ends September 14th, 2022, and the winner will be announced September 15th, 2022 via email. So make sure you watch your email to see if you are one of the lucky winners of our Big 3 giveaway. I'm so excited for you to have a chance to try one of these beautiful tools. Good luck, everyone, and come on over and order your copy, whether it's digital or printed, of Coloring Essentials so that you can be set up for success as a colorist. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful, colorful, blissful day. Bye, everyone!